Hey everybody, we're working on this crazy contraption again, and we're getting ready to put the firewall back up on my half frame. It's got to be mounted, to the mounts there, and I'm too weak to lift that thing up all by myself, so I got the muscle people out here today to help me. And nothing like women when you need muscle, right? So all right, you women, heave ho, let's go. Okay, believe it or not, we kind of made it. Got a little lining up to do. And this is what happens when you're old and you have only limited helpers available. But this proves that limited equipment, she says, and we don't have a lot of experience. But it's there, we're getting it there. And that's what it's all about. And happy Valentine's Day to all the nice ladies out there.
That's that flywheel cover. Remember the one with the big hole? Well, that's how she came out with that fiberglass and aluminum foil. Looks good. Well, I'm out here this morning and we're slowly getting this half a 59 Pontiac back together and got the fenders on. They're just kind of hanging there. They're not really secured yet. But this radiator mount, whatever you want to call it, it came out pretty good. It actually lines up quite well. Little work, it'll hook up. Having my morning coffee. Some friends of ours just made a trip from here in Georgia across the United States to Arizona, and I bought me some of this coffee here at Walmart about a month ago called Juan Valdez. Never heard of the guy, but he gives you a guarantee on the back that it's great coffee, and I like it. I've been drinking it. It is good. So having said all that, this is what I'm doing with this right now. Before I got too far, I wanted to make sure I had oil pressure, so I took a screwdriver shank and cut it off and put that around it, that little hose around it. That keeps it from slipping out. And I got me a set of oil, gauges, and she got oil pressure. Found that out yesterday. So I pulled all my wiring harnesses out of that trash can. They've been sitting up there for, I don't know, 3 years or so in these bags. And I'm slowly, warming. I'm going to warm up. The sun will be on them before you know it. And I'm relaxing the wire. Maybe I can make this thing work for me. This is like for the cluster, fuse block, headlamp switch. It's in bad shape. But I think I can make it work. I hope. I don't know what that's for. It's probably, who knows? I can't think. I know there's the dimmer switch. And I seen the ignition switch here. Maybe that is the ignition switch. Yeah, gee, I don't know what it is. Will it ever run? Everybody. Will it ever run? Sorry about all that noise. It's the AC's running. Okay, what I'm showing you here is these are 3 separate wiring harnesses. all out of 59 Pontiacs. This harness actually still has, you know, the fuse block. It's complete, you know, and I went around checking all the stuff, and I had these marked, but they'd been sitting for so long that you couldn't read it anymore. And here's a good idea of what I'm talking about. And I'll tell you what I did, and it actually worked in a lot of cases, is you couldn't read these, but I took a little brush and I, you know, cleaned them off as best I could. I put a little engine oil on them, and then you hold them up to the light. I don't know how this is coming out, but, you know, I figured it out. And so, in each wiring harness, I had taken them out and marked them, but it was so long ago they were all shot. But some of them I had marked. That's one harness. Here's the second one. This one here is in pretty good shape. Like you can see, you know, for the light switch, what that looks like compared to, well, you can't see it. I taped it up, but that's the same thing right there. It's just, it's broken, and it's a mess. I had them all sitting in plastic bags up there, you know, on the roof of the Avani, and the heat, you know, softened them up. So by the time I got to this one, it almost felt like, you know, it was very pliable, almost felt like new. And I went and you know, marked these. And between the 3 different harnesses, I was able to, you know, get everything marked good. And I know where everything goes pretty much. And it's just a matter of getting it all together. Just some other stuff that I got extra. I don't even know. I can't remember what this came out of. But, you know, I don't have a key for this. Not that it matters. This here is a Pontiac fuse block. And if you're wondering what about the tail lights, well, the tail lights are all hooked up in the trailer.
Well, you know, I looked at the weather forecast and it said it's going to rain for the next 7-8 days. And to top that off, my wife's out of town for the next 8 days. And I says, okay, it's time to make a move. You know, you sit out there, and by 12 in the afternoon here, it's hitting 95. And it's just too hot, and you're listening to that AC go, and the AC just going bong, 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 bong. And I'm paying for it, but I'm not getting to enjoy it. And so that's what we've done. We brought it all inside, and I think it's one of the smartest things I've ever done in my life. My wife is actually real good about this. I've worked on stuff in the house before, and she's okay with it. Now, what we got here is not rock art. I made this. My wife asked me to make it. And what this is she likes to stand in this barefoot and walk around. She says it's good for the brain. Well, so far I haven't seen any improvements. I mean, like, when I stand on it, I haven't had any improvement. But yeah, that's what that's all about. Kind of like acupuncture of the feet. You might want to try it. But we're gonna keep adding to this.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the original wire harness. I'm gonna see if I can just make it work. I'm using this stuff to get all, you know, the rust off, and I used this wire wheel also. Now, when I used it, I did it by hand. I didn't, you know, use any machinery, and it did take the letters off of the, you know, it says, like, you know, tells you which fuse goes into what port. But I took a picture of it, and I've already made a list before. Well, it didn't take them all off, but I think it's going to work, you know. It's been soaking right now for about 40 minutes. I'm going to let it go a little longer, and we're going to find out. I've also been cleaning up all the plug-ins. I think she's fine. Between those 3 wire sets, you know, I'm taking them all out, cleaning them, like I said, by hand, with this, all of them. I've been doing it with all of them. And putting the best, I don't know what you even call these things, on. And next task will be soaking these bulbs. I've got most of the bulbs out, but a few of them just don't want to come out. But believe it or not, the insides don't look bad at all. and they still got nice springy action, you know. Only got one hand, in a sense. But you see that? It isn't rusty. Let me show you another one of my sets, what they look like. Now, I got two other sets that I've been, you know, taking parts from, and believe it or not, these ones here, on these two sets, seem to be in much better shape. I've transferred a lot of these things over to the other one, but look at these bulbs. I can't explain it, other than, you know, one car was left outside where maybe the windshield was broken. That's going to be it, and all the rain kept coming in, and that's what destroyed it. Whereas the other one, the windshield was still in it, and that's going to be the difference. Yet the other one that I said the windshield was still in, these plugs, you know, this one here is not that good, but a lot of the plugs on it had turned real, you know, this dark brown. When they get like that, they're brittle, and they're no good anymore. So in my mindset, if you go and look at a car and these plug-ins still have their original color, they're looking good, then that's a good, very good sign. And if they have turned dark brown, then you probably know you're going to have much more extensive electrical work with that purchase. So just something, you know, you learn this stuff by doing it. And thanks